This is Sean from Solis Review. Thanks for joining. Today we're going to be going over the PCS Robocop. It is a 1/4 scale. It is a piece that is very near and dear to a character that's in my heart. A Robocop is definitely something I grew up with, had a lot of love for. Feels good to have a statue of it. We are going to break this baby down and talk about what is good and what is not good, unfortunately. Okay. Overall, though, love the piece. Promise it's worth sticking for the rest of the review, though. Okay, so this is the EX or DX. I don't know how PCS does. I think it's EX, but it's the deluxe edition that comes with the extra arms and the light up base, which truly is the shame of the piece. I believe the EX Light is the only thing that actually comes with the bonus. I think the arms come with the standard edition. This is not a new piece. It is, I think, 7, 8 years old. It actually came out before I was even in the game. So this is by no means a new statue, but I think that for the scale it's in, it's the only licensed piece of 1/4 scale, and I definitely really enjoy the piece. Robocop, for you youngins who might not be familiar with it, is from the I was going to say the 80s or 90s, but there's even some real big B-movie stinker Robocops that have come out recently. There is the remake, reboot that came out in, I think, 2013. I enjoyed the movie, but it was only loosely really Robocop based, like coming from the movie. I won't even get into that movie. Let's not worry about it. So, of the original Silver Robocop, there were 3 main movies and a few more after that that I think were like direct-to-TV movies. But let's go over. We're going to go over concept. We're going to go over sculpt, design, engineering, paint, and then kind of an overall again. So concept, does it reflect the character as it comes from the movie? Absolutely. I think it looks phenomenal. There's a lot of great detail, especially for the age of the piece. I feel like it's a really good representation of the physical form from that movie. The base, it is reminiscent simply because he's standing on the logo of the CC or OCP, or the company that created Robocop, that runs the city, that owns the police. That logo's there. The rest of it is just unrelatedness. There is a Robocop title on the front. That's fine. I think it looks good to see the font of it, but seems maybe unnecessary. Either you know who Robocop is, or you don't, and you don't really care. But either way, base is cool. There is a light up feature, like I said, but it is difficult to see. I don't even know why they bothered, to be honest. I think they could have done a lot better for the light, but not a problem. I wonder if anybody's ever done any custom modifications to really bump that up, because it needs some. Okay, so concept. Talked about the base. Let's go with the engineering of it and get the size and specs. It is a decently heavy piece. Both the base and Robocop are pretty decently heavy. The base uses a AC adapter for the light, and Robocop is one large piece other than the arms, head, and these little piston-y guys in the back, which are not too bad, but they're kind of a pain too. Interesting, it's weird choices for that. But let's see here. Okay, so he keys in on one foot, other foot rests. The back piston pieces have two holes and then kind of hover towards the bottom over here. The two holes, you would think that you're supposed to jam it all the way till it stops. It looks like it's made for that, but you're not actually supposed to, and it'll get kind of stuck there. So just have it in to the point where it's secured. Do not go all the way. The arms are very strong magnets. Great job. Like, that's what you want from arms that big. I mean, and they needed to be with how they were sticking out. The portrait design has even enough detail for the OCP police, like writing in there. But as far as engineering wise, I don't know that I've ever seen a portrait that moved this much. I mean, the magnet's decently strong, but it's kind of weird how it wobbles. I've seen people actually modify it to take the pegs out, and so that you could turn the head, because in different poses where you maybe used one of the other arms to have the weapon up, that it would be posable in different directions, which I can see the benefits of that. I have not done that for myself. Scares me a little bit too much at this point, but okay, so we went over concept, we went over engineering. Let's get the size here real quick. Height. It is just over 22.5 inches. When you have this arm set up, the widest it gets is from base to the end of the pistol, which I would say is about 17.5 inches, maybe 18. And then the base itself, that is an octagon, and the base is about 12 across by 12 across. So all in all, I would say it's a very manageable size for where you would normally display in an IKEA or a Vesta or something to that effect. Okay, so we've gone over engineering now. Let's go over the sculpt. I think I went over that a bit already, but let's just officially say sculpt-wise, I think that it is a good sculpt. It's got the detail for this mechanical suit, the lines, the dimensions, the size. You wouldn't want texture because it's metal, and this is supposed to be a bit of a dull thing. So really, there's subtle differences in texture, maybe like on the weapon versus his gauntlet versus his arm. And probably the most detailed piece is actually going to be in the portrait, which is just the lower part of his face. And you can see a decent amount of skin texture, like, you know, kind of a wrinkledness to it. You can see the lines on the face. I would say that the sculpt wise on the face is dead on for me, for what I remember from Robocop. I just watched it the other night. Okay, so we've gone over sculpt. Now let's talk about paint. All in all, paint is great. You know, I like the silver. There's a lot of dirty weathering that's in, just, you know, just that right amount when you're looking at it that I think looks great. There's even some areas where it looks like the, like either heat or oil or something got on the metal, and it's kind of got like a rainbow effect to it that sometimes metal can when it gets dirty or used. I like that. The dull black looks like rubber, so it really can't knock it there. Yeah, it's a pretty subdued area on him in the movie, so I think it adequately brought it out. I did notice though on some of the paint in these knee pits right here along the metal edge along the top, maybe not as clean as I would like. So other places the paint is pretty clean, but it's not flawless. But this is kind of an older generation, and also PCS at the time, you know, wasn't necessarily PCS that it is today. And they went through factory changes, and that was before I was really involved. So I do not know how that may relate to any quality or changes in paint or any of that. But it is a good piece as far as the paint, especially for the age. Looking at here in the back, the kind of like data entry point for Robocop is kind of a purple hue. It's not quite like a shimmering metallic like in the movie, but I think for what it is, it works really well. You know, this character doesn't have a lot of variation throughout. I mean, mostly it's all metal, and I think that they did a good job with what they had, you know, palette wise to work with. I will show you real quick the other arm. Arm up, which looks cool, but doesn't fit my current display. And I think from the frontward face, I enjoy more the outstretched. And let me change out this other arm here. And then this arm is arm up. There we go. I don't really like this configuration. It doesn't feel natural to me, so I'm not gonna ever pose it like this, but it's cool that you have options. Let me put this back the way I had it. Very strong magnets, like I said. Great. Now, that should cover it. Overall, love the piece. Absolutely love the piece. And I'm very glad to have it. I would recommend it to anybody that is a Robocop fan. It definitely is a beautiful piece. And one I'm truly proud to have. I'm going to do a quick walk around with the video so that you can see it up close. Okay guys, this is going to be the walk around so you can get a good look at it. You can see the OCP logo and the generic shapes around the outside edge. Nothing spectacular on there. This is where the glow comes from. Very disappointing. Okay, so here are the piston pieces that are on the feet. Like I was saying, they are intentionally sticking out, and you are not to push them all the way in or it will get kind of a jam there. This is the paint on the knee pits I was talking about. There's just some line work there that I think could be better. You can see the texture, and the silver paint is essentially what you would imagine. There's not a whole lot of variation to it. This is the kind of rubberized area. Like I said, it definitely looks like rubber, and yeah, it's very much like in the movie. Looking at here, you can see where the arm joint would normally, if it was a normal character and had this much of a seam or anything, I would think that that looked wrong, but because it's a robot, I think it works well, actually. Same with over here. It's a very, I guess you would say, unnatural joint looking kind of a thing, but when you think, hey, that's a robot, it kind of, you know, makes sense. See the difference in texture from the paint, and I think a little bit of the sculpt from the pistol to the gauntlet to the metal. And some cool views here. You know, while it's exactly like it would be from the movie, there's not what I would call a ton of standout things to really talk about on the body. It looks pretty much just like the movie. Here is the portrait. You can see the OCP on the side, the purple back that I was talking about here, and then the portrait, which I think it looks good. It's not the best skin tone I've ever seen. So, like I said, this is an older piece. It may be that it just doesn't have the, you know, translucent resin that all, you know, Prime 1 and everything has now. So I think it's very acceptable. Again, here was the walk around. We're gonna go back to the regular review now, guys. Thanks again, guys. If you have any questions, please make sure you let me know. I really enjoyed chatting with you guys. And please like, subscribe, and share to the video. It is an honor to be able to make these with you guys, and I appreciate all the help growing the channel. That'll be it. Thanks.